Welcome to Hoop-De-Doo. This is a new trick that I call elbow crank turns. And the reason I call them that is because it almost looks like your arm is cranking you all the way around. Okay, it's like a 360-degree turn. Okay, and as you saw in the preview, I'm doing it with two hoops, and the hoops are going in the opposite directions, and it's a 360-degree turn while the hoops are spinning on the elbows. You can do it with one hoop or two hoops. You can do it with going forward a spin or reverse spin. You can do it with breaks and all kinds of different possibilities. So I'm going to start with one hoop, and then you can sort of build up to two hoops and then opposite directions, and just let your imagination go crazy with it, okay? So to start with, we'll start with one hoop. And basically what you have to remember are a couple things. And one thing is you have to know how to elbow hoop first, okay? And that's obvious. So when you're elbow hooping, you have to remember that when you're doing the crank turn, okay, and your arm goes outside the hoop, but it goes outside and it grabs, your arm grabs the hoop, and you want to make sure that you have a good grip on the hoop with your arm sort of folded over it. Okay, if you don't, then the hoop will flop over or you'll drop the hoop. Okay, and your arm stays that way the whole way around. So if I'm going in the forward direction, I'm going to turn to my left if the hoop is going in the forward spin. Okay, so I'm going to turn to my left, and okay, so your arm comes out, and then as you're going around, you really want to grab it. You really want to grab it with your arm. It's really hard to show in slow motion. Okay, and so as you're going around, your arm is going to come out, grab the hoop, and then as you come back around to the other side, then your arm comes back into the hoop as you get to the beginning point. Okay, you can do them in the forward spin or reverse spin. Okay, you can also do them a 180 degree. Okay, so I'm going to do a 180 degree turn, so when I finish, I will be facing the opposite direction rather than my starting point. So my hoop is going in the forward spin, and I'm going to, same thing, I'm going to bring my arm outside the hoop and bring it up, okay? And it's almost like you're cradling the hoop, and sometimes you can grab it with your hands so it doesn't go wonky on you, okay? So my arm is outside the hoop, and I'm grabbing it, almost like I'm cradling the hoop. And that's a break. You stop the direction, and now there's all kinds of things you can do with it. But what we're going to do is, when we get it there, we're going to break and go the opposite direction. go back to the beginning. Okay? So, and then your hoop, if you notice, is going in the reverse spin. Okay? And so at that point, then you can do another one in the reverse spin, a break. And when it's going in the reverse, okay, so you're going in the reverse spin, and you're going to turn to the right towards the hoop when it's going in reverse. Okay, so you're bringing the hoop, you're bringing it down, and your arm is actually controlling it. You don't really have to touch it with your hand. Your hand is just there. Okay, so your arm, you can see, is outside the hoop, and this part of your arm is what's actually controlling the hoop. Okay, and you sort of got it wedged there. Okay, and then you could do breaks like this and continue on with another move, or when you've got it here, then you can go back and turn back the other way. So if you're going in reverse spin and you want to do a break with it, and just do a 180 turn. So I'm going to turn to the right and then break and come back. Change direction of the hoop. So when you wind up, your hoop is going in the forward direction. Okay? So those are breaks. Going in forward spin is a break, and a change of direction, and your arm back in the hoop, and with the reverse direction. Okay? So let me start it over here so you can see the end of it, how it winds up. Okay? Now always remember, when the hoop is spinning in the reverse direction, you're going to turn your body to the right. When the hoop is spinning in the forward direction, you're going to turn to the left. It just makes it easier. I suppose you could turn the other directions. I've tried it. It's a little more difficult, more of a challenge. If you're up for a challenge, then try that too. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we turned and break, change direction, and we're back to the forward. Okay, so try it with both arms, both directions, breaks, and that would be 180-degree turns if you're doing a break. If you're doing a complete turn back to the beginning of where you started, then that would be a 360-degree turn. Okay? So it gets a little bit confusing when you're talking about it. So here we go. Okay, that is a reverse in the reverse direction. So you're turning to the right this way. And another key to help you with this move is when you're doing the 360-degree turn, you want to really turn fast, okay? Because if you're too slow, the hoop is going to go wonky on you, okay? So you really want to turn fast. So focus in your brain that you're going to start here at this point, facing this way, and you're going to go really fast and wind up at the same spot, okay? And you can do 2 hoops with it. The one I'm doing on the preview of this video is very difficult because each hoop is going in an opposite direction. But if you think about it, the hoops going in the opposite directions, one is going forward and one is going in reverse. So how do you know which way to turn your body? Okay, I generally turn it whichever way is most comfortable for me, which would be to the left, because I'm going to make this hoop, the one that's going forward, to be the one that determines that. Okay, so if you're wondering that, it would be just try different things. Try spinning the hoops, the left hand in reverse, the right hand going forward. Try them in the opposite directions, because it does make a difference. Sometimes the arm that's more dominant for you is the one that you'll use. Okay? And you'll use that. For example, my right arm is my dominant arm, and if the right hoop is going in reverse, I'm probably going to turn that way, okay, because it would be easier. I have learned, because when I practice tricks, new tricks, I always practice them with my non-dominant hand first, and that helps me learn it quicker because the non-dominant hand is always the hardest, and so it's more of a challenge. And then if I learn it with that hand, I know I can do it with the other one too. Okay? So if you want to do them in both hoops going the same direction, that's a little more difficult because if you've got the right hoop going in the forward direction and the left hoop going in the forward direction, the right hoop is going, and you're going to turn to the left, then the left hoop is always going to be fighting you. Okay, so what I do to solve that is I do another move. Okay, and that is I will do a break with both hoops. So I'm going in the forward direction with the hoops, and I'm going to, you've got to take both of them out. And there's a break and a break. Okay, and so that's what you do if you want them going in both directions. In the same direction, I mean. And you can do breaks rather than a complete turn. Okay? I think it's easier to do a 360-degree turn with two hoops going in the opposite directions rather than both of them going in the same direction. So try different ways, different possibilities. I think that these turns have a lot of possibilities, and just be creative with it. If you have any questions, let me know. But it truly is in holding the hoop with your arm. And when you learn how to do that, then you'll really be able to do it. Okay? And you can do breaks or you can do complete turns around. Okay? So, good luck with this one. If you have any questions, please let me know. Or if you have discovered new things you can do with this move, I would love to hear from you. Okay, so thanks for watching and happy hooping.